I feel like they keep grabbing heroes that on paper, strategy-wise, make a lot of sense for countering the things that Pavaga's draft is good at.
Anti-Mage seems decent here for Pavaga. I'm looking, it's not banned, right?
It looks pretty good, yeah.
Weaver.
Well, they're not going to go in. They go
Another
Weaver.
It's a weak disable on Pango.
That was one of the reasons why I liked AM, so I guess Weaver kind of fits that theme too.
Purge, just to let you know, left side is Pavaga, right side.
This is not going to stay in my memory for more than
It's going to go away and then we'll forget.
Well, while it's here, give me who has the advantages in lanes.
In lanes, ooh, I haven't even thought about that yet. I'm definitely going to forget the matchups here. The Razor kind of beats everybody, so Razor's going to be happy no matter where he goes. I got it.
Okay, okay. Let's start there. Yeah, no, too much.
It's over.
All right. So, who do you have based on this draft and playstyle?
Team Pango, right team.
Right
I
team?
liked their draft better personally. I know they're more favored to win it, but I just felt like they had more counters basically. Like when Gale alone is scary, that's a dangerous moment to be in, kind of. But again, the lane setups with Razor. Razor's got good lane matchups pretty much no matter what he goes. He's not amazing against Veno, I guess, because Veno can just ward spam and like semi-defend himself. But they'll have some windows to run at you. It's kind of reminding me of the previous match we just saw. It's like they're not supposed to win in the laning stage, but if they do, then they're looking good.
All right. So you're going to go with the Pango.
Yes.
If Weaver's going to be picked up, I feel like you need a true hard carry to go along with this hero right now. But if he's the focus of damage, I'm not sold on him working, so I'm going the Pango. They do have a nice minus armor strat, but the Pango, Venomancer actually feels decent here. I think that they're going to take it.
Well, the Pango played just too well in their last series to just fall flat against Pavaga, so can't put any respect on Pavaga's name. We're going to go with the Pango, and let's get it started.
Let's get it started indeed here with Kyle. I'm ready for a best of one, which is still not an elimination match, by the way. There's still another best of one for whoever wins and loses here. And the winner goes up against the winner or loser from Vega Winstrike. The reverse, like loser goes up winner, you know. Do you agree everybody goes for the Pango?
Yeah. It's a perfect Veno game. You are the hard counter to to Night Stalker and Razor.
Yeah.
It's like Purge said, you know, area control. You place wards all on the high ground. They'll slow Razor through his BKB that inevitably he'll be forced to pick up. Provides vision against Night Stalker. It just feels good. It's the great pick, and Luna's the hardest carry in this game as well. You have better team fight thanks to the Brew Coddle.
However, this is Kuhlman on a silver hero rather than gold. Just saying. Zayach is scouted out here by Pavaga.
Luna was standing on the tower. They could have actually tossed him back in, maybe even landed a kill, but alas. There's the bounty. 3 going the way of Pavaga.
Yeah, that's actually not bad, you know. It's a decent start for Pavaga. They apparently, according to all our analysts and here, they need every help they can get, every little bit.
I agree with what Purge said, or it was Breaky, sorry, but Weaver as your hard carry just feels weird.
Yeah.
They've got 3 semi-carries and a Shadow Demon. So if he can offensive disrupt, that's great, but you don't have that disrupt ally siege power that you usually like to see.
No, you're relying on Kuhlman actually getting fats. And if you're relying on your enemy doing well, then something's wrong with your plan.
Indeed. They don't have any natural tower pressure either, which is going to be troublesome. Veno, Luna kind of just eat structures for breakfast, so they'll have to play fast. They need to have Weaver and Night Stalker just connect constantly, just find kills, crush the map. That's how you win this game.
So early pressure is what we hope to see from Pavaga, seeing if they can win some lanes. So you got Veno versus Razor. How is that mid lane supposed to do? Is that at least a Razor favored lane?
It is at the initial levels, but then Veno starts to out-harass, outplay. And more importantly, it's way easier for Veno to find kills. If you land a Gale with a +1, like the Tiny coming in, it's near impossible to miss a toss-back opportunity.
Okay. Here on the top, at least, Cheshire Cat seems to be doing just fine. Tiny is being kept busy by Earth Spirit behind the tier 2 or tier 1 top as well on the Radiant side. So
welcome to the new Dota.
Yeah, it's a tough world out there for, or a fun world, and you know they're very active actually. You can see it both ways.
And you can see this is key for Pango. They have a sentry down the lane against the Weaver. That is so big because it means Brew at any point could just pop his E and hit Weaver in the face for like 140 as he tries to invis through. And You just can't play Dota like you want to as a Weaver. And this is a bit unfortunate. He's getting out CS'd hard. Middle is naive, and I blame his skilling of Gale level 1. You just get your W, push the wave, hit the Razor.
I mean, the logic behind it, we just saw in action. You know, you Gale Razor so you can walk away from the link. But that just takes way too long.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't do anything.
Yep.
And you're still losing almost 30 damage, and you might as well just zone him out instead if you can do that.
Razor needs a creep wave advantage to be able to pressure. If you just auto attack every unit with your W up, like it pushes the wave, and then you can be the one aggressive. You can trade hits a bit, force the Razor to actually turn away from you, or he starts tanking creeps and too much poison damage. But you play it this way, it'll give Razor an edge, but not huge, and it'll equalize as the lane continues. Spam from Ghostic.
Yeah, Ghostic is having a great time here. He's keeping up in CS with the Weaver, but obviously the difference being Ghostic and he's the offlane and he got the knives. He's looking quite comfortable there on that bottom lane, and middle we did have ZyODPixel actually in a lot of trouble, but he's I think he's just going to try to walk back to base because the 9th tier 2 tower is not an option anymore. But the Pango are looking pretty solid. Maybe apart from the Venomancer. You know, if that is the only thing that's going bad. And we know that Pavaga needs to do something right on the lanes. So the eggs are in the basket of the Razor hereby.
Indeed. I'd like to see Tiny, now that he's healing, like look to make a move towards mid. You could potentially wait till nighttime, but like this is just such an easy kill because you just Gale and you could walk in, stun, toss back, no problem. You don't even need stun really, you just walk in, toss back.
But then he'll link, and then you don't really have a lot of damage anymore. And then the kill is gonna happen very slowly. So there's time for someone to roll in and help, or walk in, teleport in and help. Sheever though.
Nice.
Is there help for him? Yep, there is a big num roll in. Try and help out, doing quite a bit of damage there. No first blood on the board just yet. Salve for Sheever.
They're doing so well top. How the heck did that happen? I mean, actually, how'd that happen?
That happened because Tiny was keeping Earth Spirit busy, and that allowed Night Stalker with the creep wave to walk under the tower of the Luna, and Luna had a really tough time dealing with Sheever because he had to use all his regen, and now all he can do is try to run. He will run. He has got a stick, almost all his regen. He's got another set of tangos. But it's a tough lane for Luna out there.
No, this is big though. This is daytime Night Stalker. If you're already losing the lane, it's not going to get any better once we hit 5 minutes.
Oops, missing the roll there. Still getting quite a bit of harassment out there. Sheever walking forward. It's going to turn night in 15 seconds as well. It looks like Kuman is
nice pathing.
Is it gone? Nah. I like his attempt of eating himself through the trees, but Sheever was already blocking his escape route. The first blood on the board. Now disruption coming out from J4, Valentinos. Valentinos helping out here in Slayer. He's trying to do what he can to help out Ghostic, but Ghostic also has to run away. At least he's close to his tower. But we said that Pavaga should do well on the lanes, and
they're doing
sure,
great.
Bottom lane is going okay for the Pango, but they're doing good.
Yeah, I don't believe that these lanes... Holy crap, it's 3K advantage. But I don't believe that these lanes should be going this well. Veno does not lose mid to Razor this hard, and top lane should certainly not be this punished for a Luna Tiny.
3K, well, 2K is a lot. 3 stacks of Shadow Poison, and it's stage 3 as J4 misses his 4th. Maybe this one, another one. Yeah, oh, so close. 20 health, 20 odd health left. Ghostic will be using that shrine.
Thanks.
So he'll be back on the lane very soon. It is nighttime, and we said before that that Night Stalker kind of changed. You don't really want to use that first nighttime to really go out and get kills, but rather you want to make your enemy's life on the lane as miserable as possible, as if it wasn't miserable enough.
Yeah. This is pretty good for Pavaga. This is, as we said, it's what they've got to do, but they need to translate this advantage into towers, which is tough just because of their draft. It's going to be key that they utilize the 10-minute catapult spawn, because they just don't have anyone that naturally hits towers. It's no more Aquila. You don't have that easy boost to your creep waves. It's not like anybody wants to be buying a Bassi this game, although I suppose the Night Stalker will get a Vlad's. Nighttime, so top lane gets even tougher.
Yeah, Kuman in more trouble. I was actually expecting that Earth Spirit to rotate a bit more. Was the toss? Bingham coming in as well. I guess that's why he didn't rotate, helping out Sheever. Sheever has got some stick charges and actually has got Pikachu to back him up as well. ZaYAJ will be the target for him. The rotation from the Razor. Toss Tree will still cancel the salve of Sheever, which is actually quite decent. But he does die for that, and that is a kill going the way of the Razor that was already doing quite well mid anyway. Disruption coming out here, just a bit of harassment on Ghostic. They should not be able to kill him. Especially not with him teleporting back to the tier 1 tower on the bottom lane.
The raindrop on the Night Stalker is so huge up top because it's going to get either the toss or the beam, and that it'll proc twice as they try and initiate on him. So you can see here, like, that's not going to do any damage. Nope. Bang. And you can't kill him now. So as long as he keeps rebuying, keep rebuying those raindrops, the stick, if they can't kill you in the burst, they just won't kill you. And, you know, Night Stalker, he does a lot of sustained damage at nighttime. 2k gold lead still, but you can see Naive spamming wards now. He's equalized that CS. That's what's going to happen as a Venomancer.
Yeah.
A lot of that is jungle, however, so still a bit behind in the net worth. But Luna, that's the big problem here. He is having a rough time, and he's the hero for Pango that's going to really win them this game.
Yeah, once again,
getting gone on up top.
He is getting gone on. I don't think he's going to live this out.
Well,
Toss there. Luna is still running. ZaYAJ just buying some time for him. That looks to be enough, but he might pay for that with his life, which, to be fair, if you're Pavaga at the moment, anything is fine. And actually getting Luna as low as they did, she can't farm. What's she going to do? Walk back and forth to base? That is so much time wasted. That you might as well have killed her. Then at least she would be back full HP, and she can teleport. It's she is gonna shrine.
This is a oh my god! Look at the net worth.
It is 2k still 4-0 in kills, and Razor
look at
is
Luna.
popping.
Look at Luna.
We're not looking at Luna because then you know some of the Pango fans might cry.
He doesn't have any points in W. Like I was about to say, you know, it looks like Luna might just have to jungle, but that hero doesn't do that. This is not a Terrorblade, all right? This is a semi-balanced hero.
Right.
You can't just pop meta and illusions and
if you get glaives, you can jungle.
Not really.
I mean,
not
sure,
this
it's not ideal, but you know, you have the chance. Oops, Earth Spirit. He's just gonna try and teleport out with all the disables used from ZaYAJ. That's fine. Pikachu will come in to try and take all the experience from the creeps being around.
And this could be a little bit of fatigue. You know, there's a long series that Pango just lost, and they come in, not much of a break in the BO1 elimination. Not elimination, but still BO1. And their backs are up against the wall already, even though it's only 9.5 minutes in. Nighttime will fade soon. You got the second round of bounties coming up.
We did mention that late game for the Pango is still quite solid, and all the things that also the panel talked about, and all the good things that the Pango's lineup has. They just need a little bit more time to come to fruition, perhaps. You know, in 10 minutes, we're going to see an entirely different game.
And I love this smoke because not only is it bounty runes, but the catapult wave will spawn up top as well. So hopefully you get runes, find a kill, and then you just camp up there, wait for the wave, and hopefully get the objective because that's what you need. You're the Radiant side here.
J4 just dodging that
They're getting
Illuminate,
all 4.
kick up the high ground. Ghostic is stuck. He has got his ult available. He can leave whenever.
Oh,
but he gets tossed first. They want to try and fight this one. The split is there as well. It is a 4 versus 5, and it is nighttime as well. This is a rough fight for the Pango to take. Looks like they want to try anyway, though. Palatinos came in for this one as well, and is in the backline trying to kill off those supports. Goes for the call first. Sheever being kept busy with the Brewmaster in the moment, just like Pikachu. The
nice disrupt. He was dead in a crit.
Dying as well. Ghostic, all he wanted was that Shadow Demon. It doesn't look like he's going to get it. That is J4 being on like 100 health for the entire fight as well. 7-0 on the kills. Not a single kill for the Pango, even though they clearly wanted that fight to happen.
That was perfect because they took it around an objective. They know, like, they have to try and get fights. All right, they can't just push towers. They don't have the ability to do so. So they're up top with 1 hero showing, 3 heroes smoke, and Weaver TPs. It's like the most efficient way to get all 5 heroes into an engagement, and that's why they pick Weaver. That's how this hero has to play. You don't scale too well, but as a TP to Shrine follow-up, like, you're perfect because you just immediately find those kills, and they get what, 2, 3?
They got 2.
Lose nothing.
But they
got all 4 bounties though.
They got all 4 bounties, and a lot of time wasted on the Pango. Still not an inch given here by Pavaga to the Pango. And they did use darkness for that, but I mean, that's fine. It's going to be nighttime before you know it. 2.5 minutes.
The key is that they're staying in all 3 lanes, and you see the 2 supports now swarming towards bottom. This is how you want to play it. Just stay aggressive, Don't give Pango an inch, because you have to be able to win these engagements now before you're forced to teamfight into Brew, Venawall, Luna ult, and all of a sudden it is not nearly as easy. Coddle. The teamfight of Pango is still nuts. There's a reason everybody predicted that they would win.
Yeah. I mean, we are still going to have that threat, especially later on. Eventually, you know, you can slow everybody down, but farm will be had and the levels will be had on the side of the Pango, so they can still get that team fight together. It's just how much can Pavaga get before the Pango's lineup is online, and so far they're getting quite a lot.
You got level 6 on the Earth Spirit now. He is a force. I like this item on Pikachu. You're ahead, get the hood, make yourself a target now. You can see the same with Cheshire Cat. They're just pushing both lanes. These are the tanky heroes. They're trying to bait Pango to respond, but more importantly, they maximize their ability to farm the map as a unit. You know, everyone in every lane. Razor going to shove middle, look to force a response, and they don't have the greatest farming mechanics, so you got to spread out like this.
Oh, and it looks like the Pango does want to try and maybe do something on mid. The Brewmaster actually got scouted out by Palantimos, though, so he has to be careful. He could get silenced right here. Indeed, he does. Cheshire Cat, he just flies forward. He had darkness up again, and maybe that at least is going to buy some time. Nice Will-O-Wisp coming out from the Slayer, but is it enough to turn this fight around? Doesn't look like they're going to get a kill just yet. Big Num having to deal with that Brew split by Cheshire Cat. He's still at it. Kills off the Keeper of the Light first. Zayach, he also just wants to run away. He does have the Magnetize there.
Luna's in trouble. What is, oh no, Kuman, what's going on?
Kuman, he came in, he also doesn't have his ult yet, and he dies. That's not worth it. 2 kills again, going away for Pavaga, and they couldn't kill anybody off the back of that. They did get close on that Weaver, but they got close on the Night Stalker as well. I don't know, there was no focus fire. It was a messy fight, but everybody did show up.
That's the hood on Razor. It's the only reason he survives there. The damage output of Pango is near purely magical, and was Eclipse used? Like what?
No, he didn't. He hasn't got it yet. He didn't level it yet. He's level 8 at the moment.
Yeah. All right, well, that's just not a fight you're going to win then.
No.
And they just didn't have damage. The Brew split gets off. Sure, the Coddle ult goes down, but like Veno doesn't have his ult either. I'm talking about these big tools they have to win fights. If 2 of them aren't even skilled, and those are the ones that actually deal the damage, not going to kill anybody, especially when Razor walks in with effectively like 2,500 HP thanks to the hood resistance and then the active barrier.
Do you think he wants to make that into a pipe? Because, you know, we've been talking about those teamfight ultimates that can really hurt, eventually hurt Pavaga anyway. And we already saw that the Will-O-Wisp actually did quite a bit there, allowing that Brew split to come off. Otherwise, it would have been a complete disaster, even though it kind of was anyway. Maybe with the pipe, you're already making that magic damage coming out from both Venom and Luna a little bit.
It's too early. You pick it up later. Yeah, it's too much of an investment because you just can't all in on fights. Like get the Sanj and Yasha if you want. Get a I don't know about
you agree with
some
these
more damage.
odds, by the way? I mean, we know at the moment it's very one-sided to Pavaga, but
the thing is, their advantage really isn't that high when you consider how much dominance they've had. Like mid tower's still alive. They've taken 1 tower. And it's near 15 minutes into the game.
Yep.
So you're doing great, don't get me wrong, but
the enemy team also took 1 tower.
Yeah, like this isn't a big lead by any means, and they have a very difficult time doing Roche. They have a difficult time taking towers, you know, you get my drift. Like they can't capitalize on this lead that easily, and it's 9-0. You'd expect this to be, you know, you look at the game 2 from the previous series, where Gambit just ran away with it after a huge laning advantage like this, but you don't have that same ability to capitalize on this growth when you're Pavaga just because of the nature of your draft. And your whole squad is itemized for fights now. No one's scaling. The Brew doesn't have a Midas. The Razor went Hood. Dragon Lance on the Weaver. No items that actually help you accelerate. So you got to continue to capitalize and find kills because you can't do anything else.
And they were finding those kills mostly when the Pango chose to fight, and perhaps for the moment they'll keep quiet. They'll get some farm up, they'll get some extra levels there, maybe get that level 9 up on Kuman so he has his ult available. Venomancer also still doesn't have his ult available, and you really want to have that because that is your strength in this particular game. Team fight, that's where you're going to get your wins. And this is just harassing.
I like the show a bit, you know, if you're going to be there, you know, like demonstrate. This means Night Stalker's alone because he ran back from level 5 Tiny. Nighttime up as well, so look for Pavaga to make moves. There's the
teleport.
TP. But that's kind of the dead part of the map, though. You're totally cool mirroring if you're Pango here. You are not in a position to fight, so you're fine with the enemy side walking around your woods as 4. You'll just enter theirs.
And they knew too. They had a ward there, so they know exactly where Pavaga is, and this could just be the turning point for the Pango. If they can keep clear from Pavaga for the next 5 minutes, they got a way better shot of taking fights.
The only downside is Luna's so far behind. Like, there's losing a lane, and then there's getting absolutely annihilated, and that was what went down in the top dire safe lane.
Upside, Shadow Demon can't copy you because, well,
True,
he can,
that's
but
a
he's
good
not
point.
very strong.
It's all mind games.
it's all planned. It's like when you're playing Rubik mid and you're not casting any spells so that he can't steal any. That has been done once in the past. I think once.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Through-
under attack.
They'll have a blink
Are
eventually.
they?
Finish flats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're look at. I mean, look at the gold, right? It's 3K.
Yeah.
It does not feel like this game should be this close, but it is,
Oh.
and they're gonna find Shadow Demon here. It looks like, but they're getting zoned.
Oh, they just want to try and pick someone off. The Will-O-Wisp allowing the escape there from Naeeb's Venomancer. Slayer will take one for the team. That's the only one they're going to get, though, and that was a 5-man spot. Actually, is that the only one they're going to get, Zayach? He has a TP available. There is also J4 still dropping. That is the Brew split still going on, by the way. Now he teleports out. Won't be able to because the interrupt is there from Big Num. Maybe he can run himself away, but Cheshire Cat will slow him down. As it is nighttime.
Pango-
2 kills and instant Roche.
Pango were playing this game as well as they can under the circumstances. The Luna got a ton of farm in space bottom and then TP top. Was
They got
not
the
even a
first
part of that
kill.
engagement. Yeah, and the tiny Zayak actually cut top wave, then TP'd out. So they're doing as much as they can to maximize their resources. They can defend this Roche, that could be huge, but they just don't have the spells up to do it anymore after those big ults were burned.
No, Venom has
They need
still
Venom.
not got his ultimate. Luna has got her ultimate available, but she kind of can't stand in the middle of the team fight because she just melt.
This was huge. They needed to cap. Like, this was big by Pavaga. They needed a Roche before 20 minutes just to accelerate the game state. Still maintaining that 4K gold lead, but now it's about time to take those objectives.
It's 4K, and it has been 4K for a little while, so it's been kept even. At the moment, the Pango is farming at the same speed as Pavaga, despite being behind. Kuman still has to be careful, though, because Palantimos
tier
is
2
doing
there.
a lot of damage. No tier 2, and Cheshire Cat coming forward with the silence as well. I mean, even if he was planning on using his ultimate, he can't, but he just accepted defeat. In the meantime, mid also, with a lot of pressure coming out from Pavaga. There is an answer, though, from the Pango. Looks like.
Kuman, in retrospect, probably just wants to be sitting bottom. I think he stayed up there to get the tower denied, but like, if you stay bottom, it's so much safer for you because the enemy side, you can see where their wards are, right? You know where Pavaga's trying to play. They've got Aegis, they've got 3 wards all around your jungle. You got to be more cautious. And yeah, much like why you need to ask for a raise every year because of inflation, the amount of money you make is less valuable as time goes on. It's the same with the gold advantage. It's got to grow because the percentage will shrink as time continues and both teams acquire net worth.
Oh, Slayer. You did.
I respect that he stands still and takes it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there because the tower was already dead, and maybe he tried to save Ghost's life, but I didn't think that needed saving at that time. But we will never know.
Yep, I love what they're doing. Just keep the aggression up. Look at this. It's nighttime. Use it.
But I mean, they have to, right? That we said from the start, if they're not aggressive early, late game will be taken by the Pango. So they're trying their darnest, and they do have some towers down now. So they killed 3 towers. You know, they get in there.
I think Pavaga could look to be a little more aggressive now.
Even
They're
more.
buttered up for you. Yeah, darkness is active, but the bounty runes are spawning soon. You've got to try and take certain calculated risks. It's fine trading at this point. You're so far behind that if you take an engagement, even if you lose 3 for 2, it'll prevent them from taking your structures, and it opens you up
you
an
mean
opportunity.
the Pango can be more aggressive?
Yeah, sorry.
I
the
was
Pango.
so confused.
Yeah,
there for a
you
second.
definitely don't want to give away 4 bounties here.
No.
You need to be more aggressive, and I hope that they're going to look to do that right now,
Oh,
moving
they're
towards
looking
bottom.
secure bottom indeed.
Coddle.
There's a shrine from the Radiant team as well. So Pavaga know this. Valentimos is still looking for a Slayer.
Oh,
Slayer
nice
will
job,
get the
Slayer.
rune.
You got a blinding light?
He does. Oh!
No, so good.
That was very close. In the meantime, Kuman does die on the bottom lane as there's an engagement going on. It is not the end of it either. Zayac will be dying and Venomancer as well, just in case you guys were wondering what was happening. It's a big team fight, and we missed it. Aegis does get burned. Well, that's frustrating. I hope we can get a replay of that. I think we should be able to.
Wait, I mean, look, the key thing here is that the wizard escaped. Did you watch Lord of the Rings? Okay.
I mean, that's all I
If
need,
Gandalf
right?
dies on top of that tower, all right, they never kill the ring.
Oh, yeah.
All right, read the books. It would have been an impossible task. But because Coddle escapes, they only lose 4.
And he got the rune top as well.
Exactly.
Oh, that must have been one hell of a fight. They also used all the ultimates we talked about, but the one key element they were missing was the wizard, because the Ignis Fatuus, or the Will-O-Wisp, was used by that Keeper of the Light to prevent Weaver from chasing him down, and yeah, they really need that for a big 5-on-5 team fight. But I don't know why the Pango decided to go for that. They could have just been happy with that rune and run, but they confronted Pavaga.
This whole game is on Kuma and Luna. As far as why, like, it's hard now, and also who's going to be relied upon to actually win the game if it's going to continue. I mean, credit to Pavaga, though. They've played this game properly. They took a 17-minute Roche, and they still kept using the nighttime. Look at the wards they have. There's 5 wards placed in center field. They're just continuing to shove lanes. Mid is going to be pressured by the Earth Spirit as Palantimos is top with TP active. The rest of the team swarms towards the Tiny showing in the bottom lane. This is how you've got to play this kind of draft. Continue to apply tempo, keep possession of 70% of the map, out farm. It looks like the pipe will actually be picked up by the Earth Spirit. I like that.
Ooh,
just
nice.
Stack that magic resist, because where's the physical damage going to come from? You know?
So much magic damage coming out from the Pango, you might as well. Indeed, center field has got a lot of wards, yes. Nice terms. Totally knew what that meant instantly.
Really?
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. It is 18-1, and it looks, I mean, if you just joined this game, you're like, well, this is a stomp. I kind of still think it's not.
Well, it is. It has been a stomp.
It has been, but it's not as clear-cut as that.
Yeah, that's how you have to win this game if you're Pavaga. So you got to just kind of keep stomping the jugular here. Don't let Pango get back into this game, because it comes down to the one fight. And that's what makes this game tricky, because if Pango can just capitalize on one error and get 2 or 3 kills, maybe a Roshan, all of a sudden, they're the ones favored to win.
Yeah.
So keep playing smart. Luna up top now. Looks like he'll be taking that tower, but Zayak, he did.
He did. If you are Pavaga now, I mean, we see him taking the tier 1, that's fine. We also see Big Num trying to stop Kuma from teleporting out, and it works. Magnetize is there as well. J4 will make some copies for his collection, and they will be able to take out the Luna, because, I mean, Luna's got not a whole lot to work with here. But if you are Pavaga, do you, once you're taking out that outer tower, because they don't have the Aegis anymore.
Well,
they did use that in our previous big fight.
That's what's so nice about what they've done, is you've got a timing coming up around this second Roshan where both your Weaver and Razor are going to have BKBs.
Yeah.
You have BKBs and Aegis, and then you can just go. You can play super aggressive, because Pango literally have no ability to stop you. They cannot threaten you with physical damage because they don't have any. So you've got 10 seconds where both your cores can just run in super speed and find kills on whoever they want. And
it will probably be around nighttime as well, because it's going to be in between 25 and 30 minutes. And then you also still got darkness to work with, which I kind of was expecting Night Stalker to use like right about now. Pikachu.
They're blowing
got a lot of
everything.
magic resistance, but this time I don't think it's going to be enough. The Pango, surely they can they can kill this. Yes, they can. And now with Big Num stuck in between the heroes of the Pango, he'll die too. 2 extra kills. That is the Pango tripling their kill score.
The problem is, while that's good,
yes,
it also sets us up for the memes, you know, not to jinx it.
Okay.
But Luna wasn't there. Luna got no XP, we got no gold, and that's the hero that matters. It's cool that Venno gets some items, but what can he buy that really changes the game state? Magical damage isn't going to make much of a difference, even if he grabs an Ags. That's cool and all, but you need your Luna to have something.
Does he have a Hurricane Pipe yet?
Yeah, he's had one for a bit.
Oh. I was thinking maybe he can get more items that will help his carry get out of trouble sometimes. We do have a double damage rune up top, so by the time that these two respawn, it will be nighttime, there will be a DD rune, and it's perfect. The only thing that's missing is Roshan. We'll soon know how long it takes before Rosh respawns. Pango will take 2 runes this time without dying. Kudos to them.
You got to kite these BKBs now. That is the key. And oof, I really hope that Kuman doesn't finish a Hurricane Pike, because that item, that ain't it, Chief.
What do you want him to buy?
BKB.
Okay.
You need BKB. I wouldn't have minded, like, in I feel like different players, you know, if this is a Ramses Luna as an example.
You said Earth Spirit was building a pipe.
He was.
Oh, well, he is, and Night Stalker is as well.
Yeah, you think about 2.
They will have 3.
Like the barrier, it's not like mech where there's an innate cooldown and you can't get 2. They do stack
almost done.
in that it reapplies the barrier. So it's not terrible to have 2 because, again, there's no physical damage on Pango because Luna's net worth is bottom. I don't know. I'm trying to think
he's
of an
doing
analogy here.
okay-ish. He's now above Cheshire Cat. I mean, in terms of effective net worth, his items don't really do that much extra for him.
True.
That's a little bit unfortunate, but...
I love how Pavaga's playing this, though. Like, they're just constantly on the enemy side of the map. There's no space. There's no breathing room for Kuman. Whenever you can keep your enemy inside their base, you can be sure that they're just not going to be winning the game. I get why you want the pike, but I feel like you're too far behind for these utility items. You need to itemize for either damage or the ability to take the next engagement, and that's BKB or just go for like the Yasha Manta. Like, I don't mind the Midas because you need to buy more time before you win this game, but Kuman's itemizing in a way that it's like, hey, we're going to look to do something soon, but you really can't. The high ground potential of Pavaga is still a bit weak.
Yep.
It's more about controlling the map.
Well, the high ground potential is what Pavaga is counting on. As in, not Pavaga, the Pango is counting on. They need Pavaga to group up as 5 and walk up that high ground and then all get hit at the same time. They need to do that a couple of times until those BKB timers are a little lower and perhaps someone misclicks his BKB and uses it by accident and puts it on cooldown for a while and then fight.
Yep, there's also, well, where you see the difference between teams like Pango and teams like Liquid. Because if this is a GH Coddle, he's going to be hiding in the trees on a side lane somewhere, and he's going to be doing that the entire game.
That's what Zayag is doing actually with this time.
Finally, it's taken enough time. Zayag's the only one looking to cut these creep waves, and even if he dies down here, look what he's done with this death.
TP.
He's gonna. He might even survive.
He will survive. He has a blink available, and he is doing the nice juke. They even look at the scan.
Yeah.
And
look, all of a sudden, look, his team can leave the base. It's crazy. You take risks as a support to help your cores get a foothold in the game, and this is what's going to allow them to establish some semblance of map control. But they're going to get ran at again, of course. But I need to see more players do this.
You know what that's called? Play to win rather than play to survive.
Yes.
Or rather, no, play to not lose. That's the one. There's another double damage rune on the bot lane. Just in case. Roshan is up as well.
Yep. And they're doing a good job of forcing the movement around the map. And I will say, it is nighttime, so it looks more obvious to us than it does to Pango, because you're playing this game in the darkness.
Yes.
And it is
spooky.
Very spooky.
Pavaga is doing a good job at trying to choke the Pango here, though. They still, of course, have that outer tier 2 tower, and we do just see Big Nums drawing on it.
I need this Coddle to run down the bottom lane. Like, you need to just run down the bottom lane and spam it out. Like, it might backfire on you. You might feed, but look at your net worth. You're going to give away, what, 150 gold?
Oh, look what just happened. They scan the Night Stalker and maybe think, therefore, that Valentimos is alone, but he is not, and there's a lot of people around. They found the Brewmaster. They're going to force out that split. Now Ghostic looking for a target. There's 4 heroes here from Pavaga. They still might be able to catch Ghostic here, who has his heart set on killing off J4's Shadow Demon. But J4 disrupts himself, and Ghostic, is this really the hill you want to die on? It is not. You cannot be here, sir. You gotta run. You gotta hide. J4 had a stick and Ghostic. That is not worth.
But he gets the Midas off. It is worth, Sheeves. It's 100% worth.
Oh, he does also have buyback. In the meantime, bottom lane, there was a Night Stalker pushing. Or Night Stalker, sorry, I meant Razor all the time. But Razor does get the tower in the end. Pikachu does that, so.
Some weird plays from Pango. This does seem a bit like Tilt. Not really much of a game plan, and they're not out of this. They're giving ground, they're losing, but they're playing for the knockout. If they can win that big engagement around their Luna, never know.
I also think that once it turns around, it will turn around quickly. Because 1 or 2 items on the side of the Pango might just turn this around. He is doing what you said he should.
Until very recently, it was 3-2-2. So there you go. It was.
It was.
Yeah.
No, it was 2-3-2.
Same thing.
No.
It's same.
No.
It's all about the way you pronounce it. It was 3 to the
Is it?
Pango to 22.
All right. Yeah, whatever you say, sir.
What's next? Maybe we hit him with the 6-4-4. At the rate this game is going, it's a possibility.
Now, when we have an Aegis now, I think Pavaga should try to... These odds for the Pango actually don't look bad. As in, they look bad, but they look like maybe a chance to take.
Yeah,
It is pretty unlikely, but at the same
very.
time, one good high ground defense could still turn this around. I still truly believe that, even though it is an uphill battle. Of course, we need some mistake on the side of Pavaga to make that happen. But we've seen Pavaga play before. They can make mistakes.
The problem
They're not robots. Come on. And Forstaff into safety by himself, actually, because he did finish that.
The problem they're having is like they just didn't play aggressively enough around timings. Feed is support here and there. You can't seed Roche and 4 bounty runes for nothing. Like, you have to at least try.
Well,
when they're
tried,
giving
they
away
died.
so much ground.
When they tried to get bounty runes,
But they were there like 30 seconds before they even spawned is the problem.
True.
And they stuck around after they were picked up. It's just, it can be improved upon. And now you're just going to do... This is great from Pavaga. Don't play into their hands and clump up as 5 in one direction.
Kuman is taking so much damage here.
And he's getting disrupted constantly. You're just giving Pavaga the ability to siege base, like you talked about. This is the hard carry for buildings.
They do quite a bit of damage to Palantimo. He has an Aegis and time-lapse available, of course.
At a point, you got to pick your spot, Pango, because you're giving away your base. And now you're giving away shrines.
They still can fight. They got to wait for that last lane of racks.
Stand by. If no one's willing to take risks, you're not going to win this game. You cannot have your support heroes sitting in the base for 15 minutes watching creep waves enter your high ground and expect to win. Like, Kuman's now going to go up top, but he's died, what, 3 or 4 times now trying to do this? A support should be doing this as he is protected by his team, not the other way around.
I think we're going to see him die again because Weaver is going to scout him out, and he's still just a poor old Luna without... Oh, no, he can still just teleport. I was going to say, without a BKB, but doesn't really need one to teleport away from the Weaver.
And credit to Pavaga, though. They've played this game incredibly well, and they got... Things happened at the right times. They took a Roche early. They picked up a gem earlier than I've seen in this tournament yet. It was around like 25, 26 minutes. And they're just controlling the map. That's how you do it. They're going to get the BKBs active, so they're still really not in a position they can lose a fight unless they make critical errors. And Pango don't have the catch to punish them unless they did something silly like dive base, pop BKBs, and around tier 4s maybe they'd start to feed.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pavaga does that still. There's still a chance.
There's always a chance.
In that area of teams where teams do have the tendency to do that sometimes. They get a little bit ahead of themselves. But we'll see for now as the smoke comes out for Pavaga. They find the call to begin with for Sioma. 40 seconds. He has got buyback available, but he will hopefully not be forced to use it if it's up to him anyway, but he might have to. That's a buyback. For a team that can't, or for a team that pushes slowly, Pavaga is being pretty fearless here up the high ground. They're doing quite well. Look at that hype.
They've got Cheese and Aegis as well.
Cheese, Aegis, pipes for days.
Tossed. Oh, nope.
BKB turned on as well. That is one like that. I mean, they forced out a BKB.
Yeah, but they're doing such an excellent job of taking everything Pango is willing to give them and then getting out before they could be punished for anything. So originally they get the tier 3. Like they're getting enough of an advantage that they're still in the winning position. They're not. Some teams, they have the tendency when they get this big lead, and let's say it hits daytime, and they would just back out of your side of the map. They give away a ton of breathing room, and they're just Pango's sitting in their base. They look ready to poke when they're finally 5, and they're just out after getting the critical objectives. It's just going to continue. And so these BKB timers drop down to 7-6 seconds. I don't think Pango's going to be able to take this. Like they just don't have any damage on their Luna still. They have none.
You're making it very difficult for me, Kyle. I gotta believe in the Pango because if you're making it very difficult for me, Lupat. You gotta believe in the Pango. Oh, you gotta have the hope. And obviously, Pavaga is way ahead in this game. And I mean, the odds reflect that. The gold graph, the kill score reflect all of that.
They got a bounty.
But
They got one. It's an improvement.
I don't wanna lie. Like, it doesn't look good for the Pango. I'm not a fan
Really?
of saying, oh, they're still even odds and all that. But at the same time, the Pango still believes they can win this. Therefore, I also still have to be able to believe that they can win this, you know?
Well, okay.
Okay.
If that's what you want to think. I'm not going to burst your bubble.
No.
Although,
the Pango's bubble might be burst, though.
Oh,
It is.
no,
It
Kuman,
is,
oh.
no, Kuman
was
managed to
gonna say.
teleport out.
not again.
Not again. 20k gold lead now. And a drawing to the top lane coming out from Pikachu's Razor. It's 35 minutes. It's nighttime for the next 4 minutes.
Again, I just point to the way Pango had to take way more risks in this game, and they just they lose heroes, but they get nothing out of it because they're making. There's one guy shoving a lane, and then the 4 heroes are like, "Oh, that guy's dying. Like we should leave now. Let's go try and do something." But it's too late. You're playing a game in slow motion.
I'll tell you what they were hoping for. They were hoping for the perfect fight. And every time there's not been a perfect fight. Maybe Pikachu, he has got a BKB available though, and a whole team to back him up. So Pikachu, he'll just be able to BKB and walk back towards his team. Blinding Light will hold him back for a little while longer. Ghostic did end up using his split. Now comes the Will-O-Wisp. Ooh, oh dear.
Pause.
Pause coming out now. This was because NaVi disconnected, and they need NaVi because they need his. Yeah, he needs to force staff himself in, get his ult off. Obviously, we still have BKB available. His force was
on
used
cooldown
to force the Pikachu
tiny,
in.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd love to break down this fight, but instead, look at this.
Yeah, it's
look at the
amazing.
architecture. You know, think about it. We've been Dota fans for how long? Did we ever really consider the influences that created the barracks, the towers, the
Which
shrines?
era
You can
is
see,
this
look at this
from
old
anyway?
man and his beard next to the Pavaga sign. That's vintage 16th century, what's it called? Victorian.
Victoria.
Yes.
Walking in the winter.
And those trees,
Oh,
evergreen
look, did
pine.
you see there?
the
There was
curry.
lightning
The
on the
fight.
other side of the trees.
Oh, the
with
big
bomb
idea.
damage
The
there.
cheese is popping
Chi
Pikachu.
used. Kuman is trying to fight with all his might, but he doesn't really have a lot to go on. Has 70 seconds on the sideline without a buyback. Ghostic won't be able to make it out either, but he might have a buyback. Unlike Slayer's Keeper of the Light. Spear does die. They do get a kill on the side of the Pango, and they don't lose any extra structures. It could have been worse for the Pango.
Really? They didn't get a kill. What are you talking about?
They got Earth Spirit. He bought back.
They didn't get. What do you mean? 327. Was he denied then? Yeah, he must have been denied because they didn't get a kill.
Oh, then that's the Venomancer effect for you then.
Yeah, there you go. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
But hey, it's still, they forced a buyback. That's
Yes.
what's important here.
Gold was lost on the enemy team. And Rax was lost on the Pango. Actually, they fortify for this without their Luna there. They're just trying to buy time, so they have one more fight left in them. Cheshire Cat used the salve to keep himself healed up.
They
Gets
could kill him.
ticked
But
off.
he has the gem.
He has got the gem, but he's also got the pipe and a team to help out.
If they were just a little quicker on some of these plays, like they've had so many opportunities right there. He had no BKB. If they made that initiation with Tiny, but instead tossed back to the Brew under tower and Galed, that's a dead Night Stalker. That's a gem you're going to pick up. Maybe it won't win you the game, but at least gives you hope. But so far, it just feels like Pango is consistently just not doing things. And if you want to win Dota, you got to do something.
Oh, naive. Disrupted. Where's the follow-up? There's no follow-up, actually. That might be another
toss
toss
back?
in again on Pikachu. He has got a BKB as well. Kuman has one, but Kuman, there's a lot of physical damage. The BKB won't work for that one. And now Zayac, Force Staff, but he won't make it to base. Gets killed off before that. Don't have buyback on both of those heroes. This should be another lane, and this should just clearly be the game. NaVi has his ultimate available, and there's not a lot of BKBs left up on the side of Pavaga. Actually, I don't think there's any BKBs, but NaVi, he'll pop his own BKB and try to run. But again, physical damage. Palantimos doing it all with his BKB still available. And 4 heroes without buyback. GG is called. The Pango got crushed. It seemed like they never really recovered from the losses they had against Gambit earlier. They didn't get their team fight together. It was a interesting game.
And Pavaga played like a team that was on fresh legs. They came out of the gate roaring, dominated the map, made the right moves. Really, not a single mistake.
No.
You know, I'm criticizing Pango, I think for good reason. They did not play well, but